please, could you send me a voice note talking about the story of the boy who had sickle cell and died in hospital and had to call 999, because you start going into the scenario with your brother, but it would be nice for the audience to understand why we're talking about it. So highlight the story of the boy. So if you could send me a voice note now and I could find a way to insert it. I don't know. There also might have to be a trigger warning because it's very sensitive.
So in regards to the sickle cell situation, so there was a boy, I believe he's of Caribbean descent, I could be wrong, but he was in hospital, obviously following probably a crisis or an episode. So whilst he was in his hospital bed, the story doesn't really go into too much detail. It was just like a quick one, basically. So whilst he was in his bed, he called 999 because, they neglected him, according to the story. So he wasn't able to get any nurses to sort of see to him. So obviously he died. And I think when an inquest or whatever, when they sort of looked further into it, they realised that he actually even called 999 from the hospital bed. I was thinking about the episode actually the day after. And I was thinking, Mon, have you said too much? Because I realised that I was quite... I'm very aware that my views are very different in a lot of things. And I was like, Mon, are you talking too much? Like, because, one day your kids are going to watch this. And then I thought to myself, no, actually, I want my kids to know that their mum always said how she feels. So I thought, you know what? No, don't look into it too much. Yeah, you're right. A trigger warning might have to be put in, actually. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
The eavesdrop.
You said people going missing.
Yeah, about the boy that went. I don't know. That's a sad topic, though, to be honest. That's quite. I don't want to get into that because he had sickle cell as well. When you have we spoke about this before?
What?
So whenever you used to date, right?
Yeah.
What was one of the first questions that you would ask?
Well, because I'm not sickle cell and I'm not sickle cell trait.
Oh, so
it was never. I know that my mum was sickle cell trait.
Yeah.
And so is my sister. But I'm not sickle cell trait. So.
Oh, you didn't need to.
I think when I got into like my late teens, this was mum. It was because my mum said you should. She was just telling me about like if you want to get serious with somebody, these are things that you should know. But I think because it was never a question. I did tell you that I had a boyfriend who was
sickle cell. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And
with my mom, she told me from young, whenever you meet somebody, like when you start. Yeah. The first question is, what's your genotype? Because that's what you say, it's genotype. Because I've got sickle cell trait. Okay. So it was pounded, and also living. My brother had sickle cell, so I saw what it's like. I saw the pain. We all went through it together.
It's a whole. So it's not just one person.
So whenever I met anyone, the first thing I asked is, "What's your blood? What's your blood group?" I don't want to. What's your blood group?
Yeah, straight bits.
Because I've got the trait,
and if you have the trait, it could be a problem.
Yeah, because I've got the trait, and my daughter has the trait as well, but their dad hasn't. So whenever she's old enough, I have to hammer it into her that whoever you get with, you can't be doing blinded by love. You can't.
It should be like a first point of conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whereas the other two, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But with her, she has to say, "What's your genotype?"
Yeah.
So that's something that is, yeah.
Yeah, no, my mum was trait and my sister is trait. And I think maybe it came from my granddad because she said my granddad he's not sickle cell trait. But I'm thinking like, how does the trait just keep I'm a bit confused.
I don't know either.
Because I don't think my grandma's sickle cell trait, but I think...
Yeah, because if she was, then one of the kids would have had sickle cell potentially.
Yeah, but my mum did. But yeah, I did go out with a guy who was sickle cell, and he, to be honest, he didn't look, maybe he was like dealing with it okay because, or when at the time we were together, because he didn't look, did he? Fair, he was fair. skinned. So even if he's like, he didn't look like a bit poor. He didn't look poorly to me. It was just during intimate moments, it was like he was knocked out for the count. There were nothing, no rounds, no rounds. Like knocked out for the count. Like that's it, gone.
Did you hear about the boy who passed away
On his bed?
On the hospital bed. That brought back a very dark memory for me. Did that trigger you? Oh yeah, I saw it. So basically, whenever my brother would travel to Nigeria, and he would come back, he normally goes into crisis. I think sometimes change of weather.
Oh God! So the sun was better for him, was it? Or
I don't know if it's like the traveling in the air. I don't know, but what
lack of oxygen up there.
Basically,
anyway.
My brother had sickle cell. You know, some people have sickle cell and they don't really get sick. They might just be tired, or he had the extreme, like we've had blood transfusions. He was always sick when we were young, or we were always in and out of hospital. They knew us very well. He had a bed, yeah. So I remember. So this time he was a lot older. My mum was still in Nigeria. I think this was the trip that he went before he went again and passed away. Yeah. Anyway, so he came back. My mum was not at home. It was just him and my dad and my little brothers, I think. Or was it just him and my little brothers? Anyway, he called me crisis because I wasn't living at home. And he was in pain. So I've gone down there. Anyway, we've called the ambulance. They've come. Because obviously they know people with sickle cell. One thing I will say is that sickle cell is not taken seriously because it's a predominantly... not even because it's predominant. It's a black disease. It's a black
disease.
So I remember, God. Like, sickle cell...
Don't get me pissed off about that.
I'm pissed. Let me tell you the story.
Oh, God.
So we've called the ambulance. They've come now. And I know, apparently, sickle cell pain is like labour pain. Have you ever seen somebody in crisis?
No.
It is like a grown man like it's so bad he'll be screaming like, just kill me now.
Jesus.
Because it starts from like, it could be your head, then it could be your belly, then it could be your leg. It's like, because the cells go into a sickle shape, so the blood is not flowing as the way it should. So I've seen a lot. Anyway, so I've called the ambulance, we've gone in the ambulance, and I know that morphine is what calms my brother down. But I don't like to give a lot of sickle cell patients morphine because they feel like sometimes some of them are asking for it because they're addicted. Paracetamol does not cut it for somebody. So anyway, we got to the hospital now. We're in the waiting room. My brother's screaming. He's crying. He's a grown man, by the way. He's crying. He's screaming. He's shouting my name. He's saying, like, tell her to help me. Like, And the nurse comes with paracetamol. I said, can you get the morphine, please? They were like, oh, we don't just give out morphine willy-nilly. This guy's got sickle cell.
That's not willy-nilly.
I thought I was going to get arrested that day. Like, I switched. I just went mad. I said, this guy is he's crying. And you're telling me he should take paracetamol. I said, do you know what sickle cell is? I don't know what... I was thinking, like, my mom is not here. She's all the way in Nigeria. I'm the only person this guy has got right now. Imagine if he went in there by himself and he didn't have anyone to say, look...
To advocate for him.
Yeah, just imagine.
I don't want to. I'd rather
my guy is crying. You're telling me paracetamol is all you've got when I know you've got morphine. Because they have morphine. It should be readily available for people with sickle cell because it's one thing that really, really helps. So when I was doing nursing, anytime I would see like a child with sickle cell that would come in, I just used to always cry. Like I'll have to go in the staff room and just cry because I know. I would just burst into tears and just start crying. Like and so when I saw that the young who died on a hospital, he called 999 from his hospital bed. Why are we being punished for just being black? Like, I'm tired. This is why I don't watch the news. I'm not gonna lie to you. When that boy went missing,
Richard,
yeah, and he's passed away now. Like things like that, I get anxious. Like I started feeling anxiety again. That's why I don't.
Was it you who was telling me? Or I don't know if I was listening to somebody saying that they had a crisis, so they went to a hospital that wasn't in London. And the issue is when you go to a hospital,
yeah, it's me, because of the area we live in, so they're not very aware.
Very
You got, I had to start telling her what sickle cell was, the pains, and then she started taking me a bit more serious. And I think because I was getting a bit, they'll probably class it as aggressive, but I had to do what I had to do to get my brother help.
No. Sometimes you have to be, if it means to stay alive, you have to be aggressive.
Even me, I don't know if you've experienced the same in labour, when you have to...
Because, obviously we're aware that black women are 4 times like...
No, sometimes it's the black nurses
No,
as
of
well.
course. Because the thing is, it's not just, it's the teaching. It's the whole system. It needs to be broken down and started again, because the black nurses sometimes they're worse.
My 3rd child could have died. So with my children, whenever I'm in labour, whenever the labour pain, I'm ready, when you start dilating, their heartbeat drops. And she wanted to give me, not epidural, there's epidural, there's gas in air. What's the other one? The one that they inject. Is it perfect?
I can't remember.
Is it pethidine?
I don't know.
And I know that it slows down the baby's heart rate. So if my baby's heart rate is already slow because I'm contracting, you giving me that will kill the baby. You know that, right? And she was like, and I told her, I said, I can't. Oh, it stopped. I think it's perfect. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, and when you've had more than one baby, a nurse has said to me before, but you've done this before, so you should know what the pain is like.
I don't like that. That's rude.
Oh, she was like, you've done this before, you should know what the pain is like.
So it doesn't... Pain is pain.
Pain is pain and pain is pain. So I was like, oh, you can't give me this, because if you give me this, you're putting us at more of a high risk. And as I said that, the heartbeat went down, even though they pulled the alarm, everybody's rushing in. And some people, that could be their first, and they have no idea, and they're like, okay, yeah, give it to me. And before you know it, it's mad. Anyway.
It's really... I remember when I was in labour with my daughter, the last one, and I was... I feel like I've spoken about this, but I was like... The contractions were contracting. Yeah. And the midwife or nurse or whoever it was tried to give me... Because they took me out of the labour suite and put me in a ward because I wasn't dilated enough already, but they weren't ready to send me home. I can't remember what the situation was. I was induced, that's why they couldn't send me home. Oh yeah. So the contractions are contracting and the lady wants to give me paracetamol. You're a woman, and I'm assuming that she looked like an African auntie.
She wanted to give paracetamol for labour pain.
It's funny, isn't it?
I would have dashed paracetamol.
It's funny, isn't it?
So paracetamol doesn't even work for period pain sometimes, and you want to give it for labour pain.
It's funny, isn't it? It's actually funny.
No. That's laughable. That
is actually funny. And she was like, I don't know.
How many?
And by this point, I think I was close to ready to push the noise that I was making.
It's the when you start doing
the grunting. It's time. It's time.
You see that grunt? I never knew I could grunt like that.
Because you're trying to conserve your energy. No, it's the pain.
No, I never knew that I could make that kind of noise.
Yeah, it's from
the depths of...
Yeah, no. She tried to give me
paracetamol.
It's not taking us seriously as as human beings, and there's no is it empathy?
Yeah.
There's no human connection.
Do you know why? Because black women are strong.
It's not just, but when you're saying black women, when you've spoken about your brother now, it's not just a woman thing, it's a black thing.
Oh yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? Because now somebody has gone around sending, in a particular group that I'm part of, sending around some awareness of some sort of animal cruelty or whatever. Now, not that I'm for animal cruelty, but I'm like, how come you, as Oyibo people, you can empathize so much with the animal that is in pain, but your fellow human being,
you don't care.
You can't empathize. You cannot.
You don't give a heck.
Literally.
So I'm always, so when certain things circulate and go round in groups, and especially when it's things like animal cruelty, and especially when it's coming from Oyibo people, I'm looking at you sideways. I'm looking at you sideways because I'm like,
When
this
all the black
empathy
stuff is happening, no.
I
don't
when
hear
it's
you.
the black stuff, it's political, and the issue is the issue with when it's political, you take out the emotion, you take out the humanness from it, and you're just, oh, it's a political issue, but it's not a political issue. You've made it a political issue so that you don't have to empathize.
You know, as soon as somebody says, as soon as an Igbo person says to me, but I think all lives matter, really, that's when I know that, you're not normal. You know, when the whole Black Lives Matter thing was happening, I've had somebody say to me that, I think all lives matter, really. And I don't know I don't think, like, they don't get racism because they're not racist according to them.
You know, the beauty is that we've got social media now, and there are so
Everything
many
is coming
people out there who are ready to educate certain white people on their privileges.
Yep.
And it's definitely, I love that even the young ones. Did you hear about is it the school in, is it Pimlico?
Yeah, they had what was it, because of somebody's hair?
They were protesting because of the school policy. So I've gone off on a tangent, but there's a school, I'm assuming, is it in Westminster or West London? I'm not really sure. But the kids, basically, they protested because the school policy was discriminatory against certain hairstyles, which are basically targeting black people.
Can you imagine?
Also, like, wearing headscarves.
What?
So you're basically targeting black and brown people.
When Jack can come in with blue hair.
Right? And something to do with hair being upwards and obstructing other people's view. And I'm like, but if my hair grows out upwards, my hair doesn't grow down.
Do you know how rude that is?
Yeah, so the kids protested, and I mean the head teacher made a change, because I mean they're only going to listen to the young ones, but I think that was great that they stood their ground and they protested, and they were like, no, that this is discriminatory against, am I using the word correctly?
Yeah, discrimination
against, like, black and brown people, because, like, hair being in an upward style, who you, like, white people, your hair doesn't grow upwards, so obstructing whose way, like, what?
And move your head,
as in, like, so, but yeah, they did good, man, they did good.
Yeah, no,
and I think they had flags, they just did good. So
these kids are not playing.
I think the wokeness is, I don't know.
Is there such thing as too much wokeness, though?
I don't know. The thing is, like, you have to make an educated decision because sometimes some people are so woke that it's not, like, they cancel people or do something, and it's like, actually, you're not being woke, you're just being annoying. You're just being annoying. So I think you have to tread carefully. But I remember being at that age, being 15, 16, and I wasn't that clued up.
I didn't have a clue.
What?
All I knew was Coke and Fanta, and that's I didn't have a clue what was going on. I did not. I just wanted to play.
Right.
That's a lot.
Their awareness of, social issues.
But that's a lot to be taken on like that. No.
Well,
I guess it's a good thing.
You know what? It's good. It's usually the youth that would do the because the thing is, when you get older, you get to a certain age, and you've got a family and a whole, like, you start seeing so much, and then you just, not that you get comfortable, I don't know what the word is.
You pick your battles.
Yeah, because you're just like, is it
worth it?
Yeah.
I'm too tired for this.
Yeah. Like, even with the whole, like, NSAS movement in Nigeria, it's the younger generation of Nigerians that are screaming, because the older generations have seen things that, I mean, I don't know. But I mean something like that. But yeah, I love what that school did. I want to say it's Pimlico or Paddington.
Big up Pimlico School.
I don't know. I feel like it begins with P, but I can't remember what the school is.
I saw it, but I don't know.
I can't remember what the school is called. But I'm totally here for it, for them speaking up. Do you educate your kids on these social issues, especially to do with blackness, Nigerianness?
The thing is, I try to, but I don't make it too heavy. I think what I do is just remind them that regardless of their colour of their skin, that they have a right to freedom of speech and all that stuff as they grow older. And also, I also try to also tell them that you may come across people that have a problem with you just because of the colour of your skin.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with my kids.
So remember to stay grounded, and not everybody's nice. I tell my kids that, but just remain kind. Because, not everyone is nice. Some teachers are not nice. I tell my kids that not every single teacher that you meet in your school is going to be nice. And just because somebody has a title doesn't also mean that they're going to do the right job. Because you've seen some teachers that have done some bad things to kids. Some pastors that's done some bad things to kids. And that's it, really. Just try and teach them that.
Yeah, I know that we've had the conversation about like skin color and because
like my kids find it, so they don't say black,
they say brown.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, we're black.
They don't
but
get it.
They when you say black to them, they're thinking this.
Yeah.
And so my daughter was like, but we don't look like this. I said no, we're black, but it doesn't mean that we're like.
Yeah,
I don't understand how to
it's a.
They don't get it at all. So they say brown skin or caramel. So my kids say that I'm caramel. I'm like, no, I'm black.
My kids use the term. I think they say black and brown interchangeably to a point whereby. So, my son. So you've got the chocolate magnums.
Oh yeah.
Right, and they're brown, right?
Yeah.
But because he knows we're black, but we're brown, right? So now, if he asks for the chocolate magnum, he'll say, "Can I have the black one?"
Oh.
And I'm like,
you're really confusing him.
like he's so he uses
confused.
Can I have the? I'm like, what black one? He's like, the black. I'm like, it's brown, but I get that. Oh, it's because
yeah. Do you know what? No.
So
I think they will get it as they get older.
Because,
yeah,
but then
it's so
but
funny.
You know what? It's an intelligent like pointing out that the fact that no, we're not actually black though, we're brown.
Yeah. No,
but because the thing is, to say that we're black, we're basically identifying our race and saying that we are of African descent because you have Asian people who call themselves brown, right?
Because Asian people call themselves brown,
right? But there are Asians that are darker than us, South Asians.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But they're brown. But it's that identifying
so
that
I think
they're
maybe
not,
it's teaching them that black in terms of
that we're from we're African descent.
But brown in skin color. Okay,
yeah, because Asians call themselves brown, and I'm like, some Asians are darker than me. I've had friends who are darker than me, and I'm like, yo.
Boy, I didn't think of it like that. No, that's a new...
Yeah.
That's a better
yeah,
way
I find it... My son went through... Well, I can't remember which one it was. He said that he didn't like his skin colour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no, my kids haven't been through that. But somebody outside has said to them...
Oh, one of them. But I think it's also because he's a little bit deeper in his tone. And... Well, that's what my sister picked up. That maybe it's a thing because he's deeper in tone. And we had a conversation about... like why our skin is this color, and I was explaining that we are actually meant to be in the sun, and how my boys, they love superheroes, especially Israel. So I was explaining to him what melanin is, and like even in social media, it's like sun, melanin, and I'm like, that is our superpower. Like our melanin it protects us. Not that we shouldn't wear sun protection, but it's an extra protection from the sun. So he feels so empowered. I can't tell you how empowered he feels.
That's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, that is because he loves superheroes.
With mine, I just show her a lot of people that look like her. And the thing is, because I have one of my children is darker than, like you said, but her skin is...
It's always the ones that are darker that are like, you can just lick them.
It's like butter.
Yeah.
It's so supple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I'll make note of that every single day. By the way,
Yeah, no, it's good.
I feel like it's important.
I've had I know one of them has made a statement about one, and this is a boy, not even a girl. The girl saying he wants his hair to grow down because everyone in his class, even the Asian boys, their hair grows down, and his hair just spirals and it grows up. He wants his hair to grow down, and I'm like, raw. Like, and the funny
kids pick up. Do you know what it is? It's because of their surroundings.
Yeah, and I'm like, our school is very diverse.
Oh, really?
But I suppose compared to when I was in school, whereby it was predominantly like most of the time until I suppose secondary school, and even secondary school was very black. Most of the schools that I went to were predominantly black. My primary school was predominantly black.
Oh yes,
Black and Turkish.
So my secondary school was black, Turkish, and yeah, it was mostly black and Turkish.
But then, I'd be fair, secondary school was probably the first time like I saw more white
people. Yeah, same.
Kids, and you're not the teacher. Do you know what I mean? Because the only contact with you, it'd be like, oh, it's the teacher. Yeah. Secondary school, I saw more white kids that were like, oh, yeah,
and they were like posh.
Oh my!
Because I remember, because we went to the same secondary school, but I noticed that the white kids were like from rich backgrounds, and they were very troubled as well.
So I didn't clock that they were troubled, but I clocked that they were posh. Like they were just like the kids that maybe their parents didn't want to send them to private school.
Yeah.
Or, like their parents were rich, but maybe just not rich enough.
Or maybe they just wanted their kids to experience.
I don't, because they lived in the nice, like they lived in the nice houses. I remember one of them, she said she didn't have a TV, and I couldn't comprehend. Because you know some posh people, like, they don't have TV,
I had a
televisions.
friend who, they were Asian, so Chinese, and they lived, like, they had a shop, like an art gallery, like a mini, I'll show you if we ever walk past there. I don't know if, obviously, they're probably not there anymore. So they lived at the top. So at the bottom was their little art gallery type thing. And I remember thinking,
come and see Shmoney.
I was thinking, I want to be you. And she was the only child.
It's a weird, it was so,
she was the
but
only
didn't you
child.
notice that the posh kids stuck together?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
like, and it's
like they automatically knew that.
They just knew.
I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, and I remember, I don't know if I've said this, but going to university, and it was like halls at Freshers Week, and then coming across the same girls that I went to secondary school with. I never
really met any. Okay.
And I find like none of us knew because we'd gone to college, we separated, dispersed.
Oh, so you now see each other.
And then I saw
that must have been so cool.
I was excited. They were not happy to see me.
Oh wow, was you really like not nice in secondary school? What was it?
I think so. To the posh kids, I was loud. I was just loud. Oh. I think because we had, as keep in mind, I did a lot of artsy fartsy stuff. So where my black friends were doing, I don't know, whatever subject, I was doing art, and a lot of the like
posh kids
were doing art, and I was doing technology was quite mixed.
You couldn't come home and tell an African parent that you want to do drawing.
My mum was a different caliber, honestly.
Yeah.
My mum was a different caliber.
Like, when maths is there, English is there. You don't understand. Like back in those days, but now a lot of them have changed. But back in those days, I came to this country
for you
doing early morning, and you want to come and do drawing.
That's funny.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I would hear.
My mum was just like, "Can you pass?"
Yeah, but now I think obviously. The views have changed. They want your children to do what makes them happy. The posh
kids weren't. I think I was loud to them. I was just too. No, you were just yourself. I was just myself, but it was just too loud for them. Yeah. So when I saw them, and my face lit up, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I just saw if their the way their eyes rolled. You know, if somebody's eyes could roll and then just fall back into their face. Kind of thing.
If you could roll and roll again.
Exactly. Yeah. It was just the rolling of, oh my God. And
like oh my God, it's her.
So we were in the same halls. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you remember, when you go to uni and you're doing certain subjects, they find a way to put you in halls where you're doing similar.
Oh yeah,
You're
Like,
old.
so say yeah.
So if you're studying psychology or
yeah, it's
whatever,
true.
most of the people in your halls are studying
No wonder I
something.
didn't make any friends because of the course that I was
Right?
Yeah.
So in my course, a lot of the people in my halls were very posh. And the funny thing is, I went to a very black university, the ACS at Kingston.
Did you go to ACS?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The ACS at Kingston was fire. Was fire.
I went to one ACS and I thought, this is too many people. I can't do it. Like I felt so out of place.
Really?
Yeah. But it was beautiful because the blackness. You know?
I loved ACS because the thing is, I was in my halls was very white. The campus I was on, because I'm studying artsy fartsy, was very, and you know why, like Oyibo posh people, yeah, they, you know, like they will have like Converses and make them look dirty.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You know that kind of and like the skinny jeans and I'm like, where I'm from,
go on.
where I'm from, no, your Converses need to be clean.
Yeah.
My white trainers, my crepe needs to be fresh. Not all so I started turning into them. My Converses were dirty.
Wow.
Yeah, my white trainers were not. I would see them literally step on each other's shoes
to make it dirty.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm step on mine.
Old money.
It's old money. It's old money. So when there was ACS, I would run like to the other camp because it was quite far from my campus, not that far, and just to be around blackness, just to soak it in again. You had like a
mixture of both. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And also that was the first time that I'd come across so many Nigerians. Oh. Like, or West Africans in general. West Africans. Like because secondary school, I felt like it was like predominantly, like if they were black, there was a lot of Jamaicans.
Let me think about it. Yeah.
There's a lot of Jamaicans. There were Africans, but I don't really, And in primary school, I felt like everyone was Jamaican.
Asian. No, with mine, a lot of people.
Maybe it was the area.
It was here. There was only 3 black people in the whole school.
What?
Everybody else was Asian, like Bangladesh.
Oh, I know it's still the same. I know what primary school you went to. Yeah. It's still the same.
Till today?
You know what? They really tried to make it like, I noticed like the certain people would not want to go there because they just find it's not diverse
it's not,
at all.
Is that why you didn't send your kids there? Or is it because it's fun?
No, because my kids won't have any friends.
Oh.
Because the thing is...
did you consider?
I did consider because it's an outstanding school.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's outstanding. Yeah. It's out. But I said no because my kids won't have any friends. And I'm very aware of anti-blackness in the Asian community because I've experienced that. My neighbour basically telling me that I can't come to her house. Like, we're 2 doors away from each other.
Oh, no, I never experienced that.
But I don't know if it's because, is it because you're Muslim? Because
I used to go to their house and eat with them.
Because then there's a connect. I had an Asian, where she can come to my house, literally 2 doors from me, but I can't go to her. She told me.
That her mum said.
Not her mum said, she said, you know how it is because you're black.
Oof.
And I just took, it's deep now. So, but the anti-blackness in the Asian community.
Oh yeah, it's true. That's why I don't like the whole. Is it BAME?
Yeah.
Oh, your battery's low.
Oh,
but that's been a good chat. The whole BAME, my bum bum.
The eavesdrop.